This is Steve Black, and I want to welcome you to this month's webinar on social media hacks, how you can save time, download your Facebook data, different ad strategies that you can use in today's climate as privacy becomes more of an issue and Mark Zuckerberg is going to Congress and having to give his deposition. Things are changing, and we have to understand how we can not only keep up with the competition, but beat the competition. We're going to be talking about one of the hottest topics that came out of Social Media Marketing World's event. And everybody's talking about messenger bots and artificial intelligence. So today's really going to be a terrific webinar. If you're one of our group coaching members, you have access to our handout on this webinar so you can follow along and really get the most out of the session. If you haven't liked us on Facebook, make sure that you visit facebook.com Steve Black Speaker or / Business Success Training. Make sure you like both of those pages so we can stay in touch. Our phone number, if you ever need to reach us, is 770-375-5208. And we're going to talk about 7 different hacks. We're going to talk about the climate of Facebook data and how you're going to navigate it. And, you know, when I look at the number one time saver, the number one feature that I tell a small business to use on their personal profile is the Save Post feature. I mean, if you're going to go through your news feed and you're going to be looking at stuff, whether it's from your past customers, your prospects, other people in your industry, people in your sphere, or just advertisers getting interesting stuff, pages you've liked, using it on a personal level with your family. As you know, most of us are so busy, we don't have time to really dive in. So it's got to be thumb stopping. And when I see something that I want to look at, the thing that I do is I use the Save Link feature, the Save Post feature. And it's real easy to access. It also works from your desktop. And I just want to make sure that y'all are clear on this great time saver, and then where to find the information afterwards, and then how to keep it organized. So the first thing you do is you just go where that red arrow is to the upper right-hand corner, the 3 dots, and then this menu will open up. Now, it may look different on your device or computer depending on how you're accessing it. I'm accessing this screenshot on an iPhone 7, I think it is, a 7 Plus. But I just go ahead to the upper right-hand corner, I hit those 3 dots, then I'm prompted with the menu to save the link, and it literally shrinks it down. Now, if I want to access that later, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my profile. I'm going to go to the 3 hamburger stacks in the lower right-hand corner, which acts as the menu key. And then that's going to open up the menu here where I have access to some of the pages I manage, some shortcuts that I have, and then also this saved post area, the save link area. And so I'm going to just click right there, and then that's going to open up all my saved items. And I have over 1,000 saved items, everything from videos to links. So a new feature, a new hack of sorts that Facebook has rolled out are these collections. So you can literally go through the stuff that you've saved, whether it's about your business or about your family, and you can create these collections. And then it's really easy to have these manila folders in the sky of the items that you found relevant that you want to go back and look at when you have a chance. So another little thing that I do from time to time, I'll send myself via Facebook Messenger the link that I'm looking for. But this is more effective than that, especially with the new collection feature within the saved items. And they also have some neat things that you can toggle, like how recent were they, and were they by you or other people, that kind of thing. So play around with that, and I think you'll find the Save Post feature something you should play with and be aware of. The second feature that I want to talk about, the second hack that I think a lot of people should know about and they don't utilize, is, you know, how can you make certain that, you know, your Facebook friends stuff gets into your news feed? whether they're past clients or people of influence or just your best friend forever, there are certain people that you want to see in your newsfeed every day. Now, you could do this by creating friends lists. We've talked about that in other modules, but one real easy way to do it, now you can't do it with everybody. I think it caps out at maybe 25 people. I'm not actually sure what that number is. It may have changed. At one point, I think it was 25. But let's say Jerry Schwartz here is a friend of mine. Well, as soon as he became friend, I'm following him. Let's say that he was somebody that I really wanted to track, keep up with, make sure that his posts were hitting my newsfeed. What I'm going to do is this technique. Now, let's say he was annoying and I did not want to see him in my newsfeed, but I didn't want to defriend him. This would work as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move him from the default setting over to the see first setting. And again, you're limited to maybe 25 people that you can do this with. Just make sure you didn't miss that. We're going to start over here at our friend's profile after we've accepted a friend request. You'll go to the next box, and this may be different on your device depending on how you're accessing Facebook. But on the iPhone, in the most recent version of the app, this is how it's going to look. You're going to go to where it says following. You're going to just left click that, and that's going to open up this menu where you can choose to leave him as a default choice. It's meaning that they're going to get into your news feed as the algorithm sees fit, or you're literally telling Facebook, hey, I might have a lot of friends, but I want to see their stuff first. So you should probably do this with everybody that you're in a transaction with, like let's say you're a realtor, if you're in network marketing, the people that are in your first level downline, key referral partners, maybe people from your leads group, and of course, your friends and family that you really want to stay in touch with. And again, if you were to go with your annoying friends and put them in the unfollow list, now you don't have to see their political or religious rants. So I think this is a great hack. I hope you utilize it to be more productive. One thing that you may notice, depending again on which interface you're using, is as soon as you add your first friend to the see first list, there's a little wizard that may open up for you. And so this is kind of an optional step where it says select more friends and more pages to see their posts at the top of your news feed. So you just go ahead and you click that, and then you can go ahead and check people off with those stars, whether they're individuals or they're business pages. You're basically saying customize my news feed for me, Facebook. So if anybody has any questions on that, just enter it into the chat box and I'll circle back to it, or we can answer it after the webinar for you. If you're on the desktop version, I did want to show you how it looks. And again, if you go to your friend's profile, and then it's by default going to say that you're following them, and then all you're going to do is the same process where you're going to use the drop down and you're going to change it to see first. So very cool time-saving feature, going to allow you to keep in better touch with people from your personal profile. And you can also encourage your business page, people that like your page, to make sure that they see your stuff first. If you have any questions, enter them in the chat box below. All right, the third thing I want to talk about that time-saving hack on Facebook, and new feature, or features that are underutilized in my opinion. A lot of times we talk about Facebook Live and where should you broadcast from. Should you do it from your personal profile? Should you do it from your business page? A lot of times we're going live from our business page, and the reason is if you've done some of the other things that we talk about and you've got several thousand likes, those people are going to get notified when you're on Facebook Live. That's awesome. But broadcasting from your personal profile also has its advantages. Two things that really stick out to me is that people that haven't really used Facebook Live a lot, and it's probably a lot more people than you would think, they've heard about it, they just can't get past their fear of going on Facebook Live and broadcast in the world, is that you're able to broadcast to only yourself, or basically You can broadcast so no one's going to see it. And then you have the choice to later on invite people to see it or share it with whoever you want. And the second thing is that you can actually have a guest on your Facebook Live. And the applications for that are endless. You know, if you wanted to interview an attorney or an accountant or somebody in your industry or even a customer, you'd be able to go on Facebook Live, send an invite to them, and then have a dual screen Facebook Live going. And I can think of a lot of other applications for it. If you're the kind of person that doesn't really like to talk a lot, then you can have somebody else doing the talking. So let's break this down, because there's actually two parts to this on the Facebook Live. How do you go live on Facebook? Well, from your mobile phone or your mobile device, you go to your personal profile in this scenario. You go to where it says what's on your mind, where it says number 1. You'll just go ahead and put your cursor there, and then the menu will open up. The second thing you'd probably want to do is write what's on your mind. You can write a brief description about what you're going to be talking about on Facebook Live, including any hashtags you're going to be using. And then you're going to drop down to where it says live video. You're going to left click there. And then what's going to happen is it'll fire up, but you're not live yet. It's saying, okay, do you want to post this publicly, which is our most open setting. That means even if I'm not a friend of yours, I'm going to be able to see your post. The most narrow is I just use that drop down, and I drop down to only me, so that when this is completed, nobody in the world has seen it other than myself. And then at that point, if I want to share it even with one person, I could go ahead and choose that, or I could share it with a list of my people off of my personal profile, or I could share it just with my friends or just with my close friends, etc. So this is a great way, for you to get used to using Facebook Live. And you could either choose the live video there, would probably be your best bet, or you could do something silly like one of the mystery masks. But that tap to add a description, that should have already been done in the previous screen if you were following the instructions, but you could also do it here. But the main gist of the lesson, a lot of people don't know, when you're broadcasting from your personal profile, you can go ahead and broadcast so only you see it. And then the final screen will be, do you want to post it or do you want to post the video, or do you want to delete it? Now, let's say you did it, you said, oh, that didn't go well at all. The dog was barking, somebody knocked at the door, I tripped over a paint bucket. You can just delete that, and now nobody's seen it. Now, if you wanted to post it, no one's going to see it unless you go to the second red arrow there and you change it so it's either friends or a friends list or a person or a go public with it. And then you can also save these Facebook Lives to your phone, and that's what that upper arrow is there. And I usually recommend doing that because maybe you want to repost this and put it on YouTube, or maybe you want to go ahead and put it into a group or somewhere else. So you have those options. And again, everything that you broadcast on your business page at this point in time is public, so you don't have this option. So this is, again, just one of those things, those hacks that a lot of people don't know. But if you're looking to get started with Facebook Live, even if your goal is to start doing it from your business page, run a few right off of your personal profile so you get used to doing it. And I think once you get past your fear, then you're going to be able to move forward with some momentum in your life and really get results from social media, because Facebook Live is a very powerful feature. The second part of this, and we're going to call it Facebook hack number 4, is, again, broadcasting from your personal profile. You can actually have a guest on your Facebook Live. So rather than choosing to broadcast your live video, you're going to use the option that says bring a friend. All right, and bring a friend is going to allow you to advertise, invite friends to be in your broadcast. Now, you can only have one on there at a time, okay? So let's say I wanted to bring Lisa Hill on in an interview situation. what I would do is I would just click her name, and then she would be notified, hey, Steve Black is live. Do you want to join him on Facebook? Now, one thing you got to be conscious of, I told you, if you're broadcasting only to yourself, now your friend isn't going to get the invite. So you would have to change that privacy setting at least one level up from only me to specific friends, you and that other person, if that's how you wanted to go about it. But really cool. And what you'll have is a big picture of you. And then up in the upper right-hand corner, it's going to be smaller of your friend. And then they had me up there. So I use that as an opportunity, you know, to reach his friends, his audience, as well as other people. I just then shared it to my business page, and then I promoted it. And I can't tell you how many people said, I seen you on Ted's show. When can you come on my show? So I love the idea of you going out there and starting your own personal development blog, because I know a lot of people in real estate, or at least in Florida, are watching you. Maybe it's because I brag about you so much, because I have so many people come to the seminar. They all love it. But let's face it, you know, some people don't take action. And you were one of those people that, you know, took action, left the seminar, started doing this stuff. And I've seen your numbers go through the roof. Congratulations, by the way, on being the top listing agent at that very competitive office that you're a part of back in December.
Yeah, it's great. And, you know, I think once you get out there and you start just talking, for me now, it's nothing to do a video. I could sit and talk on these things forever. And, you know, and too, I just got a listing from a fella in Seattle from LinkedIn, because I get on LinkedIn and do stuff. So I'm listing his property in our park. And, you know, so, I mean, it does work. And people, they love to see you as a real person, and that's what I'm giving them now. You know, sure, I could go out and pay and have professional videos done, but if you do what Steve Black tells you, I can tell you it will work. And, you know, I mean, I've been working with Steve now almost 3 years, and, you know, I make my mistakes, and, you know, I trip over the paint buckets and I do all the other stuff, but you know what, that's what people love, you know, that I'm a real person.
I think it's terrific, and great way to interview anybody of authority, interview, you know, the tax commissioner, interview the attorney, interview a mortgage person, interview a customer, and get a testimonial about, you know, how they're using your product or service. So just one of those things a lot of people don't think about. But newer feature to Facebook, been out for about a year. If you want to do it from your business page, it's really hard. They don't offer it from your business page without any kind of external software. They used to have an app that was called Facebook Mentions, and then they changed it to Facebook Creator. But it only works with verified public figure pages. So they offer this feature like to people like myself that do seminars, people that are in bands, people that are artists. And if your page is set up as a public figure page, they may approve you for that app to use. It's called Facebook Creator, but we're really not going to even have that as part of the official conversation. Let's just consider this to be a personal Facebook personal profile feature that you can utilize, and a lot of people don't. So if anybody has any questions on these first 4 hacks, go ahead and enter them in the comments, and I'll try to get them either real time or come back to them after the webinar. I want to move the conversation to a place I don't usually like to go, and that's controversy. And we're going to talk about Facebook's changes due to the scandal out there. The scandal I'm referring to, if you haven't turned on the news, is Cambridge Analytical, if I'm not mistaken, political consulting firm, you know, was able to take the data of Facebook and manipulate it to, as they say, manipulate some of the elections. And how long this is going on, nobody's sure. As I speak, you know, Mark Zuckerberg's getting ready to testify in front of Congress this week, and Facebook is getting their hand slapped in a big way. And so there's a big revolt with certain people wanting to jump off of Facebook. People are afraid. I had an 85-year-old neighbor tell me he was going to be jumping off of Facebook because he doesn't want to be hit by a Russian troll. And, the fear is real. So as marketers, we want the data to be out there. We want to be able to reach who we want, when we want to do it, so we can get the right message in front of them. But like it or not, there's going to be some changes coming down the pipe. And you just got to understand how to utilize them and then also where to focus your time. So that's what I'm going to shift the topic to right now. First thing that I got to talk about that's a result of this change in the scandal, my favorite hack ahead of the Save Post feature was if your phone rings, I don't care whether it's a customer, a prospect, or a telemarketer, try to look them up on Facebook off of either their cell phone number or their email address. And up until about a month ago, when all this controversy started, you'd have about a 90% success ratio. If you had their cell phone, if you had their email address, and you just put it into Facebook, you could pull up their Facebook profile, their personal profile. Well, it's not working anymore. I don't know if anybody else is having issues with it, but my clients and myself, we are. And what's coming up often is their business page that's linked to their cell phone, but we're not able to see who their personal profile is. And I'm hoping that this is a temporary situation, but it may be a permanent situation. So make sure that you are aware that that may not work anymore. And it was such a powerful thing to, see your phone ring or return a voicemail, you go to Facebook, and then be able to see who you were dealing with, 80 to 90% of the time. So that's one of the things that we're seeing out there. In regards to advertising, Facebook's going to be removing some of these powerful ad targeting options. And they've been collecting their own data. So they're at this point in time, they're allowed to just, continue to say, hey, if you like golden retrievers and you want to, you've told us you like golden retrievers, you've opted in. And if we want to run ads for golden retrievers, for wireless fences, for nice pet beds to you because you own a golden retriever, we can still do that. But where the partner categories came in were companies like Experian and some of these big data places were offering their data in conjunction with people that wanted to advertise on Facebook. And this was, people that were in certain job roles like C-level executives. Did they like certain brands like Ford or Toyota? Were they likely to buy a car in the next 6 to 12 months? Dealerships are being affected by this. And I'm not sure, but my guess is it's also going to affect the category of people that are likely to move. So if that was coming out of a partner data, and I think it was, that may be eliminated in the near future. The time frame on this is between now and June. We're going to start to be seeing some of these categories being taken away. And by October, it's going to be probably a dramatically different landscape out there. So we still have a ton of categories that we can narrow down off of, but certain ones are going to disappear. It remains to be seen what those are. So how are you going to deal with that? Well, couple things. First off, as a consumer, you want to protect yourself. So I do want to show you how to download your data, and then I'm going to talk about how to advertise to other people with the changes. So you hear right now, like with people with Android phones, that Facebook had been tracking people's calls. And how did they discover that? Well, they downloaded their data. So it's really easy to download your Facebook file, and I would recommend after this webinar that everybody goes and does this. Depending on how many friends and how active you are on Facebook, it can take longer than others. But what you want to do, it's real easy. You're going to go to settings, and so you're going to go up where the red arrow points. There's a little drop down arrow, and that's going to pull down this menu. And then you're going to go where the green arrow is, and you're going to go to settings. So that's step one. Step two is you're going to go ahead under general account settings, which is the tab on the left, and you're going to find where it says number 2 there, download a copy of your Facebook data. You're going to left click on that. And then number 3 is going to come up a window that says download your information, get a copy of what you shared on Facebook, and you're going to click there. And when this archive comes in, save it to your hard drive and then delete it out of your email. You don't want this falling into the wrong hands. This is just like having a manila folder with all this data on you, and you don't want it to fall into enemy hands, so to speak. So this is how you're going to get your data, and I would recommend that if you haven't done this, that you do that. So we're going to count this as Facebook hack number 5. The data is going to be delivered to you in an email, and it could take as little as 5 minutes to 24 hours, depending on how much data you have in there. All right, we're moving this webinar right along, and again, if you have any questions, enter them into the chat box, and I'll try to answer them. If I can't answer them, I'll get back to you. But we were talking about, Facebook ads. So now there's this climate out there where people want privacy, and they're going to demand it. And so Facebook's saying, hey, we're not going to do business with these big data warehousers like Experian. So as an small business advertiser, you and I are now a little bit more limited in who we can reach. So what's our counteraction to that? Well, it becomes more important, as we've talked about before, to upload your CSV file of contacts and prospects, okay? And that's super easy to do. You create a new audience in Facebook. Then you'll go to you'll be faced with this screen here. You're going to go to the one that says customer file, and you're going to create one. Let's say you have 150 people that are in your database. You've downloaded their first name, their last name, their email, their cell, their zip code, and you're going to upload them, and you're going to put them into a past customer file. So now when you want to advertise and get into those people's news feeds, you can pay Facebook a few dollars and get into the people's news feeds that are past customers. You could also do this with your prospect list. You could do this with your sphere of influence. And right now, if you just upload the data, it uploads, and if you upload 1,000 names, it says, okay, we found 950 of these people on Facebook. Well, in the future, just like spamming, if you use any of the programs like MailChimp or any of the email things, they ask you to certify that you have permission to go ahead and market to these people, that you are not just spamming them. And in the future, I understand Facebook is also going to be asking you this. I don't know if they're going to go beyond that, but I would get started by creating your customer list now, because if this changes, you don't want to be under more restrictions than you are right now. So this is not to be confused on your personal profile, adding people to lists. That's another strategy to listen and talk to people and kind of guide Facebook. But the most reliable way to get into people's news feeds is to go ahead and advertise to them. And how are you going to reach them? Well, you're going to go ahead into the ad manager, and you're gonna follow this model. Now, hi, I want to welcome you to a little module on how to create a custom audience. Now, a custom audience is one of the most powerful tools on Facebook and advertising, and it's really easy to do. What you're going to need is you're going to need a spreadsheet of your data. So you're going to go ahead and need a CSV file. So what I'm going to do here is save this file that my client Tana gave me, and we're going to save it as a CSV, and it's going to have 5 fields at a minimum in there: first name, last name, cell phone, email address, and zip code. And here I am logged in as Tana to do this demo. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to this upper drop-down menu to boost one of her posts. I am on her personal profile rather than her business page of Bent Tree Fairways, but it doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down to where it says Create Ads. I'm going to left click there, and then up is going to come the menu to go ahead and create an ad. I'm going to go for an ad of engagement. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to name it appropriately. So I'm going to name it Ripple, which was the video app that we use. 314, the listing price, June 20th engagement. So we know which ad this is. Actually, we're going to do the one for, 314. I'll press continue. And then here's the meat of the lesson. So what I'd like to do is go create a custom audience. She wants to get her property, because she works with a new home sales company, her listing at her property in her subdivision. She wants to get in front of the other realtors in the area. So she got a list together of all the realtors that she's connected with out in Sarasota. And we're going to go ahead and create a custom audience. So I press custom audience. I now go up here to where it says customer file. There's some other options here, but we're going to go customer file. Now I'm going to go ahead and have to choose where the customer file is going to come from. I'm going to choose add customers from your own file or copy and paste. And now I'm going to be brought to this menu. Since we've already created the CSV file, we're going to just find it on the computer by clicking upload file. I'll left click here. I'll go to the folder where it is contained, and I'll grab the file. All right. I agreed to Facebook's custom audience terms, and I will name this Sarasota County Active Realtors from the list updated in 2016. I'll add one more thing, upload July 20th, 2017. All right. Oh, can't do that much. 17. All right, so that's as big a name as we can make. Now I'll go ahead and click next. Now I got to map these fields, okay? So I'm going to go ahead. Some of them may be automatically mapped, but I'm going to put this one as the first name. I'm going to put this one as the last name. Put this as the email. I'll put this as the cell phone, as phone number, and I'll go ahead and choose this to be the zip code. So those 5 fields that we've uploaded, now Facebook is going to take this database, upload it, and then it's going to maybe take an hour and then come up, say to us, hey, we found 90% of these people on Facebook, and now we're going to be able to run ads directly to these people. In this example, there's quite a few names, so we'll have our ad a lot of people. So it's going to go ahead and upload 5,800 fields, 6,200 uploaded, and now we are done. So in the future, when we want to go ahead and run an ad, we come to this menu, and what we can do is then go to use save audience, and it's going to take a while to populate, but what it would happen is we would find it here under custom audience right here, and then we would go ahead, click there, and be able to roll. Now it isn't fully populated because we just uploaded it, so we're going to give that some time to take effect. But that's how you upload and create a custom audience, and then that's how you run your ad to it, and then you're getting your message in front of the right people at the right time. I hope you enjoyed this mini lesson. In your members area, there is a 5-minute and 39-second tutorial on how to do this, and we're going to link to it in the members area when we put up the replay so that you can find it. But it's an example of a new home salesperson that wanted to market to her realtor list. So what we did is we went ahead into her Facebook account. We went ahead and uploaded the list of, the 1,200 realtors, whatever it was that she wanted to market to, that she had their data, and then she was able to run ads for her new subdivision to her realtor partners and stay top of mind. If you want to jump ahead before we give you the link on it, you can go to that URL that's there, https://youtu.be, and all those letters. So I'll put that in the chat box, and then you'll have access to that. But definitely watch over my shoulder as I do it, and then you can do it on your own. And I might just stop the webinar and go ahead and play that for you. And the final hack I want to talk about is utilizing Facebook bots. You're probably hearing a lot of on the news about artificial intelligence. They just did the big Social Media Examiner conference out in San Diego, and the talk all around the event was all about bots and how to use Facebook bots and the results people are getting from Facebook bots. And Facebook Messenger, again, been criticized, about what they're doing with it, but it's a great tool as a marketer. You could call somebody, you could email them, you could text them, and they might not pop their head up, but you hit them with a Facebook message, and a lot of times they're going to respond instantly. The thing a lot of people don't know about on your business page is when somebody engages with you on your business page, now you can run additional ads back to them. You can either target people that have messaged your page, or you can set that up on automation. So like an example of a bot would be, let's say you're doing a Facebook Live and you're talking about, this month's market update. And then you tell the people, hey, just go ahead and put the word update in the comment below. And then our business page will message you the free download. So let's say you're a realtor and you're doing a market update for your subdivision or your town. And then you say, hey, just type in the word update and I'll send you over the most current CMA, stuff that's on the market, that's sold, that's under contract. Or if you were representing a product or a service, you could say, hey, just type in the word catalog, and then our business page will message you and you can instantly download, a catalog of the most current material. It may be a free report. And this all has to be programmed in, and that's why I'm not going to show you exactly how to do this, because it's beyond the scope of what we're going to do in one of these webinars. But I do need to make you aware of it, and I also want to show you what I think is the best way to do it. And the third-party tool that we recommend, write it down, is called ManyChat.com. That's ManyChat.com. And the great thing about you see this picture here, but if you go to that website, they're going to offer us a free, very detailed course on this. So if you are that techie person on the phone, or you have a techie person that works for you, and you want them to investigate how to use these messenger bots, I am going to give you that link right now. So you're going to go to ManyChat.com, where you can set up a free account and play with this if you like to tinker, or if you have somebody on staff or somebody that is going to handle this for you that you'd like to educate. They can go to the upper right hand corner where it says free video course at ManyChat.com, and they'll be able to take a very detailed course that is taught by a very credible instructor named Molly Pittman and Dan Gambito from the company, and they're going to show you how to leverage their platform called ManyChat with the Facebook Messenger interface. So if you're really interested in going to where the puck is and not where it's at, I would strongly recommend to go and take this course for free, okay? It's going to be a simple opt-in, and I'm not even an affiliate of it, so I'm not getting any money. I'm just telling you what the program is that we're developing our bots with so that we can stay in better touch. Now, some of our clients telling us, like, running Facebook ads for, let's say, $100 for a few weeks, generating a certain number of views on their posts, and then just setting it up to all roll from that point on off of bots. And, it might be, well, how much is the condo, or where is it located at, or thanks for inquiring, would you like to know the price, would you like to download a brochure, and you're able to lead people in. The other great thing is, you can set your follow-up up from that point on autopilot. So 18 hours from now, they get their second message, and 36 hours from now, they get another message, all via Facebook Messenger. And this is going to be working with your business page and Facebook ads. So when people message you or they see your post, and then your Facebook Live, and then they enter that keyword, this all kicks in on autopilot. I know it's above the heads of a lot of us out there, including myself at certain levels, but this is where the puck is going. And the great Wayne Gretzky says, go where the puck is going, not where it's been, if you want to be successful. So again, that's ManyChat.com. Check it out. Check out that free course, and you can go as far as you want and be ahead of the crowd on it.